Hello, this is Kelly Kleinman, and you're listening to the DealershipNews.com podcast, where we cover the who's happening in the automotive industry. Today, we're definitely going to be discussing cutting-edge video, which is seeing an enormous upsurge as of last year. The use of video seems to be working, and here is the perfect guy to tell us about it, Mr. Collin Davis, the founder of Cartender. Collin, great to have you on board today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Good to hear. Absolutely good to get you on. It's been a couple weeks. I think we've been trying, and today's our lucky day. Collin, I'm going to ask you the first question I ask everybody. How the heck did you get into the automotive industry? Was it something you've had a lifelong interest in, or did you just so happen to flop into it?
I kind of stumbled into it. My first job out of college was video editor and web developer for an automotive media company, but automotive has always been in my DNA as well. My grandfather owned a GM dealership back in the 50s and 60s in Windsor, Vermont, and my dad would always tell me stories of all the different cars they get to bring home, and I thought that was pretty cool. Then a couple of years ago, I had this full circle moment where my dad got an email from a guy who bought a 1969 Camaro in Las Vegas, and inside the glove box was the original bill of sale and title work from my grandfather's dealership. So that was a pretty special moment and reminded me of why I love working in this industry so much.
More than just a coincidence, more like synchronicity.
Exactly.
For
Thank
sure.
you.
And that's the Camaro, my favorite car back in the day. We had a long discussion here in my office earlier in the day about some of those old Camaros, Shelbys, Trans Ams, all that good stuff back in the day. Did you know that DeLorean is the guy who actually designed the Camaro and the Firebird and all those good vehicles?
I did not, but that's a really fun fact. And I just saw a DeLorean on the road out here in California the other day. I couldn't believe it.
Unbelievable. Synchronicity again. There you go. Tell us about Cartender. How long has the company been around, and who are the principals? Well, I guess you're the only principal.
I'm a majority principal. We got two other partners, a gentleman named George Kennedy and another gentleman named J.D. Martz. Cartender was launched late last year. George and J.D. were guys that I worked with at Wheels TV in the years past, and they all bring a unique set of skills to video and automotive. So I was really happy when we could all kind of join forces to start the company.
Well, everyone has an elevator pitch. Frankly, I'm sold on Cartender, but for the GM or president of a big dealer group who doesn't know you, what would a 30-second elevator pitch sound like?
The 30-second elevator pitch is essentially that Cartender is enhancing the online car buying experience with video content, technology, and data. We are a team of video specialists, gearheads, and product innovators who believe that video is the most powerful medium to communicate. So we have several products and solutions that provide video at scale and make it affordable to dealerships, agencies, and so forth.
What distinguishes you from the competition? What sets you apart?
What really distinguishes us is our combined unique skill sets as a leadership team. I really love working in this space because it's a small world, but everyone kind of knows each other. So having those relationships, being able to forge those partnerships is a big deal. Our video production capabilities as a team and our experience in producing video for automotive specifically is really unique. We've done everything from custom videos for Ford, Mercedes, Chevrolet, to Auto Trader reviews, to even the stuff that we're producing today for dealerships at scale. So we've done a little bit of everything in this space. We have a really fast time to market for new vehicles, which is very important. And the one that I'm most proud of is actually our customer support. We're very big on hand-holding the dealer, really helping answer any of their questions and truly educate them in understanding, the product and how it's benefiting them.
Well, Collin, I come from a SEO, SEM, pay-per-click, social media background, and I know that SEO is very important to dealerships. So let's talk about the value of video on a dealer site from an SEO perspective.
Sure. So I'm going to be honest with you. Video SEO used to be gamed where you could put a piece of inventory video up on YouTube and Google would rank it right at the top. And I still see that pitch today, and it really annoys me because Google doesn't play that game anymore. So if you're going to do video and you're going to use it for SEO, it's really important that you play the long game. And so that means you need evergreen, long-form content that's really relative to the search criteria And you've got to have a long page life for that content because it takes time for these pages and for this content to rank inside of Google and find relevancy. If you're going to have video on inventory, it's not going to hold a lot of water from an SEO perspective. It's not going to be on your website that long, and Google just may not find the video more relevant as a result than, say, a landing page that has an offer for that particular car you're searching for. So, certain types of videos are going to rank better than others, like a how-to video versus like a picture slideshow video. It's really all about the context and the content that you're creating based on what people are searching for.
So you would say that a video on a VDP page would score pretty well?
It will score well if it's going to be there for a while, but I'm telling you that if you do a search, you're not going to get a video result ahead of a general inventory page result. So what we do is we offer video and we provide all the necessary schema tags for Google to crawl that page, but by no means can we make a promise that it's going to significantly increase your rank. It's one of many points in a very large ranking score system that Google has.
That's a good answer. So your site mentions a video landing page for every occasion. Do you see an increased site duration times with video, and what's the correlation to sales conversions and enhanced metrics, kind of a before and after of what a dealer can expect once they bring you guys on and you're posting a lot of video?
Yeah, so what's really important when we look at the metrics of our video is understanding the type of content we've created. We are not producing picture slideshow videos with an automated voiceover that lists a bunch of standard features about the car. Mm-hmm. That can serve its purpose to most dealers who maybe aren't looking that deep into it, but for me, it's really one of those things where you've got to be fully intentional about what you're presenting and what that experience is going to be for the customer. So what we see with our videos is that viewers are spending up to 20% longer on inventory pages, and that's a huge metric because if people are spending more time on your inventory, more time on your VDPs, it's more likely they're going to be more engaged and want to come to your dealership to actually see that car.
The hotter buyer.
And up to 34% of the new car buyers who are purchasing at a dealership are watching our videos before they make that purchase.
So obviously that affects site duration times in a very positive way.
Yeah, we see up to 20% increase in page duration, and we also see an average completion rate of 60% with our videos. And the reason why that number is important is because if someone's going to watch your video, let's say you get 1,000 views for the month, that sounds really great. But if they're only watching 1% of the video, that's not really great.
Right. What's the average length of your video? I'm just kind of curious as to what that 60% encompasses from a time perspective.
Yeah, so our videos stay below a minute, and with an average completion rate of 60%, that's actually pretty remarkable considering people will fall off within the first 15 seconds on average. So we're more than double what an average completion rate would look like with any other video.
Yeah, so good video is a terrific SEO element. I mean, it's extremely important. It works for a number of different reasons, and that's obviously site duration, probably even the amount of sessions, probably leading to more conversions. It's measurable. That's what I really like about it. Now this next question, gosh, I almost hate asking it, but it's about video email. We once in a while do some email here, and we are looking at doing some email down the road, and it's risky stuff. Talk to me about your email platform. What kind of engagement metrics are you seeing on average with your video email platform, and exactly how does it work, and what do you offer?
Yeah, so deliverability is a huge deal when it comes to email. You need to use services that have good authority, good rank. When we use video and email, we've seen some experiments where you can embed an actual video inside an email and watch that video inside the email. But these emails that when we're working with dealers is to not have people stay inside the email. The goal is to send them to a web page where they can then convert or take action. So we're big believers in being able to embed video. Just including video, the word video in the subject line can increase your open rates or your click-through rates. So, for example, if we're working with a dealership, they're using our videos, they're doing a follow-up process within any kind of lead submission. This could be an automated workflow or even a personal response. we offer the dealership the ability to add an image of our video, click on it, and send them to any page on that dealer's website where that consumer can watch that video, and have a call to action that is unique to the person coming from that email. One way that we primarily use video email is through the dealer's existing CRM, because that's where they're working every day.
Well, that certainly makes sense. You want to drive people to the dealer site as opposed to having them take a look at it in their email client. So I'm a dealer interested in using Cartender. How would you determine my needs upon our first powwow? And what package would you set me up with to get the best results on, let's say, a 90-day test?
Well, first I would assess your current website and see if you're using video already. Some website providers have built-in video products. Some dealers may or may not be aware of those. So we would take a look at that and kind of do our assessment based on what we've seen and what we know. How are you determining if this video is showing value? What data are you looking at? So most of the time, some dealers may not know that. So that's also an opportunity to kind of educate them on what's important, what to look for. And those are also things that we're offering out of the box so that they know when they're using this product, these are the indicators of where you're going to succeed. I'd also look at the video content itself to see if it's actually providing value to the car buyer. You really have to put on that hat to understand, what am I telling the consumer about this car that's really going to make this exciting to them? It's not going to be a list of standard features on the car. It's going to be very specific things that they're considering about that vehicle. Another big thing is that some dealers may not even have access to the data to understand what it's doing for them. There's a lot of third-party reporting going on. We really believe in data transparency, and a lot of dealers are using Google Analytics. So we're going to push all of our data into Google Analytics, which is going to allow them full visibility on what we're showing them. And one way that we're going to really prove this out and make it worth their while is we're going to give them a 30-day trial. We really believe in earning a dealership's business, educating them in that first 30 days, and showing them real results that they can act on and say, okay, this is going to be worth the money to invest in this and start using it and implementing it into their process.
Are you doing any white labeling, or is it all straight your marketing? And if so, how is that marketing going? How many dealerships do you have on board? And how can we get you more?
Yeah, so we offer this directly to dealers. We're also working on a few partnerships with different distributors. We do white label it. So if there's a reseller out there that wants to use this for their own marketing efforts, then we can fully white label the solution and basically just service it on the back end for them. We have over 50 dealers today, and I'm really happy with that number given that we just launched late last year. We believe that video is something that needs to be available at scale. It should be as available as photos are. We want to be everywhere, and we produce tools and solutions that allow that to happen. One way you could help me with this is tell all your friends. Hopefully listeners of this podcast will want to learn more about Cartender, which they can do at cartender.com. It's all about communicating the importance of video and getting people interested in what is the most powerful medium to communicate with anyone.
Where's Cartender going to be? And by the way, I have somebody in mind for you. I'll do an introduction here sometime in the very near future. But where are you guys going to be in 5 years? And what do you have in R&D that we should all be getting really excited about?
Cartender in 5 years will be continuing to produce 100% coverage of every make and model in the form of what we call our model videos. I think we'll definitely be getting more into personalized video content. That's a really important area where a lot of customers want to be able to feel like this is something that's unique to them. And we'll also be entering into the space of providing more video pre-roll type of content.
Well, that sounds great, Collin. I just wanted to thank you for coming on board. That's Mr. Collin Davis, the founder of Cartender. Collin, thanks again. This is Kelly Kleinman. You're listening to the DealershipNews.com podcast. We're here every week a couple times. I'll tell you when. DealershipNews.com for everything automotive. We'll speak to you soon.